Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive Podcast. We're on episode 7. Tonight we have Nate, Mr. Spooky Bro 316 himself, in with us on this special April Fool's Day edition. Hope nobody got pranked too awfully bad today. Um, so many things were posted, and it's like, oh my gosh, is it true? Is it not true? We don't know because what can you believe on a day like today? So, anyway, um, coming up this Saturday, because Easter is on Sunday, Saturday, April 4th, we're going to have Matthew from Nightmare Explorers on. That will be at 7 p.m. He is actually out of the Minnesota area and does a lot of investigations along with a few other things. And then next Wednesday, the 8th, our guest had to cancel, so we are going to do our deep dive haunts from a Pike Mansion that night. So we still will be live, and then we'll get back into um, deep dive podcast. The next one up after that will be Kate from the Spirits of Marco. She's going to be talking about her location. That'll be a good episode to be able to actually get into a location and learn about it. And her bio thing that she sent me is like 3 pages long. So we're going to have a lot to discuss during that podcast. Um, anyway,
3 pages. That is a beast.
it is. And a lot of it is like experiences and claims and all of that stuff. So it'll be a lot to talk about. So that'll be a really interesting um, podcast to join in on as well. We are live. So if you want to share it out, feel free. I forgot to tell you that. Mr. Nate, you can share it out, YouTube and Facebook. It's all good. Anyway, Tim's here with me tonight. The other team members are going to be popping on and asking some questions too, hopefully. Anything else you want to add, Tim, before I get into reading about Nate?
Nope, I don't think so. I'm glad to have Nate here. It's going to be kind of an exciting one. I've done a lot of looking up on him on Facebook to try to figure out who we're talking to and got a questions and going on. I think this is going to be a really cool podcast. So I hope everybody joins in and we have some fun. So
Hello out there. Yeah, and if you guys aren't following Spooky Bro 316, that's his icon right there. You need to go follow because you will definitely be following by the end of this podcast. I guarantee it.
They better be.
They better be. So, from the depths of Wichita, Kansas, emerges a man who isn't afraid of things that go bump in the night. The bro himself, Spooky Bro 316, known for his love of the paranormal, creepy stories, and all things haunted. Spooky Bro 316 has built a growing following of fans who enjoy a good scare mixed with a good laugh. With his signature mix of curiosity, humor, and fearless exploration into the unknown, he dives headfirst into ghost stories, haunted legends, and the strange mystery, that keep people looking over their shoulders after dark. Whether he's staring, whether he's sharing eerie encounters, investigating paranormal tales, or just celebrating the weird and wonderful side of the supernatural, Spooky Bro 316 brings a unique energy that's equal parts entertaining and spine tingling. He's proof
okay.
that sometimes the best stories come from the shadows, and even in the heart of Kansas, the paranormal is alive and well. So buckle up because when the bro shows up, things are about to get a little bit spooky. Welcome so much to the show.
Woo, boy, I can't live up to that. God, that is some sexy intro stuff.
I tried. So.
That is like legitimas, my friends. Brenda,
little.
Tim, what's up? Good to see
All right,
y'all.
Nate.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me. I put on my big old knowledgeable gloves and I'm ready to kick some butt, man. I'm intimidated by Tim and his Adonis factor. I'm used to being the only guy around, so Tim, I'm gonna hide in your shadow, bro, and every once in a while I'm just gonna pop out and see what I can do.
Oh, you don't need to hide. Be out front.
All right. So, first off, what actually got you interested in the paranormal world and, the strange and weird, the Bigfoot video that you put out today? Like, what got you interested in all that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
So, growing up, I got into the unknown through the Ghostbusters cartoon. And man, that was an introduction for me to ghosts and spooky things. And I wanted to be Dr. Venkman. And then, my mom one day brought home the movie, and I was 6 when that movie, I was 0 when the movie came out, but she brought it home when I was 6, and I got to watch it. And that pretty much just opened my eyes to the world of the paranormal. But when I was 6 years old, there was a TV miniseries that came on called It. And that is the book by Stephen King, the legendary Stephen King. Well, back in '89, this was a miniseries from hell. And all my parents knew about this miniseries is that it was advertising a clown. So they thought, okay, well, my son likes clowns. I don't know if I actually liked clowns or not, but I didn't like them anymore. So after about the first 30 minutes of that show, there is the scene where Georgie, the little boy, gets pulled into the sewer, and Tim Curry, who is portraying Pennywise, the dancing clown, dude, he pulls him in, shines his nasty face there. My parents said, okay, we're not going to watch this anymore. So they just cut me off with supernatural blue balls right there. And pretty much from about age 6 to 13, I was having nightmares like crazy about this damn clown. I was afraid to walk past sewer drains. So between Ghostbusters, my mom talking about how we were never allowed to go near Ouija boards because of her encounter with what she called the shadow person, and then the damn Pennywise the Clown from that stupid miniseries on ABC of all places, I was hooked.
Oh, you froze.
I liked being scared. It was a sense of adrenaline, and it was a sense of feeling alive. But you know what? I never thought much about it. I always thought, obviously, this is fictional stuff. I was friends with people who had had paranormal encounters or experiences with the unknown, but I was a skeptic. I had been a skeptic my entire life. Like, oh, that's cute that you guys believe in this stuff. I saw UFOs. I had an experience with UFOs. I must have been 24 or 25. So that would have been 2000 and no, it would have been earlier than that, 22 or 23. So we're talking 2004, maybe 2005. But I've always been a believer of UFOs. But when it came to the paranormal and stuff like that, I was a skeptic. And then I got linked up with one of my really good friends. His name is Jason Roberts. He's the owner of Road Trip Paranormal here in Wichita, Kansas. And what he does, he has a group of about 5 or 6 people, and they do public investigations. So they go to sites all throughout the state of Kansas, and they invite people to come. They charge a fee, and then they give all of that money to the actual facility. So they kind of run like a nonprofit. And I got through a client of mine, I got synced up with Jason, and I started to be able to go to these places that were haunted. And I'm the skeptic being tagged along. And for probably the first year that I was running around with them, I was still a skeptic. And I'd been to several places. But I brought home something one night with me, and it attacked my wife. And we had a shared supernatural experience. And I saw it when it happened. I saw it go after her. She saw it. We didn't talk about it that night. It scared us both so bad. But the next night when we talked about it, she described exactly what I saw. And my skeptic scientific eyes, because I'm a scientist, could no longer just write this one off because of all the times that maybe I had things happen that might have been circumstantial in nature. This, I couldn't do it because my dog reacted and my wife reacted. And when we both described what we saw, it was the same thing. And at that point, it was okay. Now I accept. I was stubborn, but now I accept that there is a lot more out there. That happened in 2018. And then when my son was born in 2000, and so after that, once the shared experience happened, my wife said, you are not investigating anymore. You brought home something, and we're not going to do that again. So about that time, I also started to realize that investigating isn't really for me. And what I mean by that is you all in the paranormal investigator world, you guys are nuts. You guys will start at 9 o'clock and you will go round the freaking clock.
Yeah.
Till the next dawn and have a cup of coffee and do it again. Man, I'm an up at 4 a.m. person. So I would go on a paranormal investigation where you guys would start, or my friends would start around 9 once everything started to get dark and quiet, and they would go till 6 a.m. Well, it would take me like a week to recover from that. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. And then so my wife telling me, no, you're not going to do this anymore. I might have used that as an excuse, even though it was like, I really can't cut it as a paranormal investigator. But I was so fascinated with the stories from the investigators and the stories behind the places. I love when people tell me their experiences. I automatically, most of the time, believe everything they're telling me. So they draw me in. And then, when my son was born in 2020, he was born and then the whole world shut down. And as he got older, I don't know if he really likes this stuff or if he just is wanting to experience something with dad, because right now I'm cool to my son. There's going to come a day when I'm not cool to my son, but right now I'm cool and I'm milking that. So he likes scary things. So Spooky Bro was really created with him in mind. I was just going to tell spooky stories, and a lot of times he would watch the videos and he would be with me. And then the following just kind of took off. And now I've been getting more opportunities to go to locations, to do podcasts with wonderful people like yourselves. And I'm hoping that this continues to grow because my son and I have some bucket list places that we would like to go. And I'm hoping that if the following continues to grow and people like me enough, I might get invited to go do some of these things, and then he can come along with me. And that's pretty much it for me. I am fascinated with what comes after this life. So that I got hyperverbal and I just word vomited a whole bunch of stuff for you, Brenda and Tim.
No, it's all good.
I'll let you sort through all that BS and come at me with some questions.
Yeah, no, that's good. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining in. Please say hi to Spooky Bro or Nate in the comments. So we know that you guys are here. Our numbers are growing, but we would like to get some interaction. So please say hi, at least in the comments down there. So currently on Facebook alone, you have how many followers?
Oh God, I think 11,800, almost 11,800. It goes back and forth. Like sometimes I'll just get a pop where I get 300 or 400, and then I'll lose like 100. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm pissing people off or what I'm doing, but it just ebbs and flows. And I've gone viral. I went viral with a video that I did. It got well over 100,000 views. I know that's not crazy viral. But I got a lot. I got 5,000 or 6,000 followers just from that video alone. And it was this 10 or 15-second video where there's this picture. It's this famous picture called the Baptism of the Christ from like 1500 AD. And I say it's a picture, it's a painting. And up in the left-hand corner, there's kind of this opening in the sky and there's rays coming down to kind of silhouette where this baptism is happening. And it looks like a UFO. So I was like, is this a UFO? Something so stupid and simple. But I think it just touched a nerve with people who were very religious, because man, the comments just pretty much overnight. And I see now how these things can happen. And man, they say that people, I'm not an objectional person. I'm not trying to be objectional, but that must have hit a chord with people because the views just went up. And I mean, watching it happen, 10,000 views to 50,000 views. And I'm still getting views on that one. But I think that was a big, I got a lot of followers from that. And since then, I've had some videos that have done really well. Some aren't. I don't know really how the algorithm works, but TikTok and YouTube, I have very little activity. I did have a video get almost 40,000 views on YouTube. It was funny, like the one before that had nothing. The one after that maybe had 100 views, but then that one had 36,000. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand how this stuff works, but I don't do it for that. I just do it because I think it's funny. A lot of this stuff, I think it's funny, and it's stuff that I'm fascinated with. So I know that to get to some of the levels that I want to get to, I'm going to have to get into the hundreds of thousands of people and have to be more of a name, like a national name. I don't know if it's ever going to get there because, like I said, that's not what if it weren't for my son wanting to do this, like one of our objectives is we would love to be invited to the Roswell Ranch where the apparent crash of 1947 happened. The History Channel was out there. You know, the History Channel has a monument that they put out there. So nobody, you're just not getting invited out to that place. Exactly. Or we'd like to be invited to stay a night in Dracula's castle in Romania. Oh, yeah. These are things that I've seen like the ghost hunters go to. So you've kind of got to be a name in order to get invited to some of these places. I would love to be able to tour the Amityville home in New York. So, that's really the ambitions that I have. Is to grow to the point of where my son and I can experience that. I do get to go to Gettysburg and stay on the battlefield for a couple nights in July. So that was a big bucket list thing for me. In the state of Kansas, there is this really neat thing called the Ring of Delphos in Delphos, Kansas. I don't know if you guys have heard of that or not, but if you ever look it up, you will see pictures taken where there is this ring out in the country where apparently a UFO was. And I always thought it would be super cool, but they don't let anybody out there anymore. And the last I heard was that the people who own this area covered it up and they don't want anybody out there anymore. The History Channel was out there too. So it's kind of like a circus type thing. They just shut it down. Well, I got contacted and I get to go out there in the next couple weeks. They're going to give me a tour and my son's going to get to come. So I'm trying to track down, I've got K2 meters, but I'm trying to track down something to test radiation because that seems to be the theory with UFO sites is that the radiation levels are a little bit higher than the rest of the topography around that area. So, man, I don't take myself that serious. I try to hype up everybody else. There's so many investigators and I try to like and comment and share on all their stuff, support everyone that I can, say great things about everybody that I meet. I get invited to do investigations and I'm trying to do more of them now, not just because like I told you, I really don't enjoy the investigation part, but I love meeting the investigators and hoping that, I can kind of promote them in some way and maybe get them some traction and some eyes on them. And if I get good enough karma, then maybe I'll get invited to a couple of these bucket list things that my son and I can go to. Cool. And then once that happens, hell, I don't know what I'm going to do after that. If we ever actually get to go to those things, then I don't know. There's a influencer called Spooky Boo, and she's super popular. She's the one. She's this young lady. She's super cute. She's super funny. She's kind of a comedian. She has really bad sleepwalking paralysis. She sleepwalks, and I don't know if she's faking it or not, but she makes these crazy videos where she's sleepwalking, and she's huge. Well, now she gets movie deals and stuff like that. I don't even know if that would ever happen. I think it'd be funny, but I do this pretty much to be able to share some memories with my son.
Yep. Selena.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Spooky
Selena,
Boo.
Spooky Boo. There it is. Yeah. So yeah, I get that all the time. Like, are you just trying to ride on her coattails? And for the longest time, I didn't know who that was. And it was my wife who was like, man, this girl is Spooky Boo. And she is so much fun. And I love her stuff. But yeah, I didn't know who she was for the longest time. But if people mistake me for her, sure, I'll take it.
Misty, she's on our team. She says, "Hey guys."
What's up, Misty?
Hi, Misty.
So yeah, she actually did do a movie with her friend, the light colored haired friend of hers. House.
Did you see it? It was like on Tubi or something like
Yeah,
that.
House on Eden or House on Eden or something like that. Yeah, I saw it.
Was it
I told
cute?
I told my team to watch it.
Nice. Yeah. She seems super fun. I guess my claim to fame right now is that Matthew Lillard, the actor from Scream, he's commented on some of my stuff. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. My son, I'm like, dude, my son's name is Kelton. I'm like, Kelton, bro, this is legit, man. This guy likes my stuff. Kelton doesn't care at all that he's been in any movies. Kelton loves him because he's the modern day Shaggy.
Yeah.
So we love Scooby-Doo, and he's the modern day Shaggy and the voice of Shaggy. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. All right, Tim, take it away.
Take it away. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, where'd you come up with your tag for your intro? The spookers, specters, and lovers of the unknown.
What's up, spookers, specters, and lovers of the unknown? Yeah, try to say that shit like 10 times in a row, man. I did a video where I had Ashley from Pin Paranormal and Jocelyn and Jason from Road Trip all try to say it, and I guess it's hard to say, but I've said it so many times. My wife came up with that, actually. Okay. So my earlier stuff, it was super disjointed and awkward and fellow lovers of the unknown. And my wife, who's really into YouTube, she's like, no, you got to shorten that and make it sexy. And man, it took me forever to finally like it. But Spookters, so there's a scene in Ghostbusters where Peter Venkman says, if you or anybody else has seen a fellow spookter or specter or ghost. And I was like, I like that. It always just stayed in my head. So yeah. What's up, spookters, specters, and lovers of the unknown? Yeah. And it does, man. It just kind of rolls off the tongue now. But dude, it took me a long time to get there. So yeah, a combination of Dr. Peter Venkman and of course my lovely wife. She's the one who was like, no, you got to shorten it up and make it cool.
Well, I thought that was pretty cool that you did that. I mean, I found it very interesting. One of the big questions I have, and you had a video out there. Now, Brenda and I were wanting to go to the Sally House, McIntyrville. I mean, Atchison, Kansas is a huge place for us. We've driven past there. We went out and got in front. We went out and took pictures in front of the Sally House. There was a guy inside that scared Brenda, but we didn't know he was in there. But anyway, so tell me about the cemetery south of town that you say you went to, but you didn't go inside of it. It scared you, or you had a fear of it, and you were turned around and left, and you said you couldn't find it, but you think you have. Called the St. Joseph Cemetery. Is that it?
So I talked to Heather. So Heather Offner with Drop Dead Paranormal. Mm-hmm. She's the one who originally took the pictures of that cemetery. And she asked me about it when we were investigating in Topeka. Like I said, that was 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was there with her. It's not the cemetery. Okay. It reminded me of it. So if you are heading into Atchison from the south, coming in from Wichita, we're going straight north to get to Atchison. And once you get off the highway, you go on to some smaller 2-lane highway roads. And south of town, southwest of town, so before you get to the city, you're probably 10 or 15 minutes actually away from downtown Atchison. You're in the boonies. There's nothing out there. But there's like this small gas station, and right before that small gas station, there was a side road, and it's a dirt road, and you go up. You probably drive maybe a half a mile, and you kind of have to go up a little bit of a hill, but it's there, and it is so creepy. And like I said in that video, this was actually my first experience with the Sally House. My girlfriend and I at the time, it was spring break for us. We were both getting our masters at Wichita State, and it was spring break for us. So we were kind of like a new couple. So she didn't like ghosts or anything like that, but she was fascinated with Atchison because it's the hometown of Amelia Earhart. So it was kind of like a cool thing. We would go check out the Amelia Earhart and also the nun convent. There's a massive nun convent in Atchison, and also, of course, there's the really prestigious religious university, Benedictine colleges up there. So we stayed at the Glickman Mansion, which is right across from. I keep saying Glickman. It's the Glick Mansion, right across from the Sally House. So we had planned this trip. I had heard all these wild things about the Sally House. I mean, the Sally House had been on several big shows. Who's the guy that nobody likes? He's the big ghost hunter. He's the good-looking guy with the black hair. He's a jerk. Zach, there you go. Baggins, that's his name.
That was easy.
Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you knew who he was.
Unfortunately,
nobody likes that guy.
Unfortunately.
Well, they were at they had just done a big special at the Sally House. No, I apologize. I don't think they had been to the Sally House yet. But I'd heard about the Sally House because it is supposed to be the haunted place in Kansas. So as we go there, we stop to get something to eat inside of town, and a local bar right on the river because it's right on the Missouri River. And the waitress, there was nobody else in the bar and grill besides my girlfriend and I at the time, the waitress and the bartender. And they were probably women in their 40s, and the bartender might have been in her 50s, but they were older than my girlfriend and I at the time. And they came and we just got to talking, and like, what are you guys here for? Oh, we're here to see the Sally House. And they kind of rolled their eyes, and they're like, oh yeah, the Sally House is nothing but tourist stuff. Now, don't anybody get me on that, because I did have an experience at the Sally House. I'm not going to say that the Sally House is nothing at all. But a lot of the locals don't believe in the Sally House. They believe that it's just for tourist stuff. Gotcha. Which they're grateful for, because every year, especially during the fall season, it draws a lot of people from all over the country who are interested in the paranormal. But this lady, she said, if you guys really want to go someplace haunted, she told us about this cemetery, and she gave us directions. She said, good luck finding it because it's out in the middle of nowhere. She said, but it's like a burned down cemetery. That was the only thing that didn't resonate with me with the pictures that Heather had posted, is everything was super nice looking in her pictures. And that's not what we experienced. We experienced literally like a Hollywood set. Like, the director wants you to feel dread the second you see it. Though her pictures didn't really display that, and I was like, well, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But my intuition told me that it wasn't the right place. But when she said the theory is that a witch haunts this place, and she used to party there in high school. But she said that they had been there late at night, and you would see things. You would hear these awful laughters. You would hear children screaming. And if rumor had it, if you shut your car off, your car would not start. So we found the place. We pulled up. I drove to the gate, and it's an open gate. It's an open arch. And my girlfriend was like, you are not going any further. Do not even think about going in. And I got to tell you, man, Tim, I was feeling pretty gnarly about it too. There's only been a couple places in my life where I've ever felt true, what I would call dread. That place is one of them. There's only been a couple. Okay. And that place freaked me out. I've never been able to find it ever since then. Now, it's been years since I've tried, but my wife and I now, The last time we were there, the last time we were in Atchison was for the big eclipse. I don't know if you guys remember that a few years back, there was a really
Mm-hmm.
big once in a lifetime type eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And Atchison, Kansas was ironically enough one of the best places in the world to see this eclipse. So CNN was there, Fox News was there. There were thousands of people that had lined up the river to see it. Oddly enough, it was cloudy, which sucked. So, but when we were there for that, we tried to find it and I couldn't find it. There are some other really creepy places in that area, but man, Tim, we've never been able to find it. Now, my really good friend Jason with Road Trip Paranormal, he's like, bro, we got to get there and we need to take a day and just hunt that whole area until we find it.
Sure.
But I got to be honest, man, I'm not that eager to find it. It freaked me out.
Well, yeah, so that'd be one of my questions. Where's a place you wouldn't go back to? And I think I found it. So as far as that goes. So I'm going to GPS it because I want to go there because I don't have much fear. I go in the deepest, darkest depravity of paranormal.
Yes.
The basements, the attics, wherever it's dark and creepy and scary, that's where I go to. And I volunteer to go. Don't get me wrong. I volunteer to do it because I want to find the paranormal. So I was interested about that because I'm kind of curious if we ever get back to Atchison or we go to the Sally House, I think we should try to look that up because I think it would, to me, it'd be an interesting place to find. I was fascinated the story that you had. So our saying for us is if you want to go ghost hunting, get in the truck. That's what I say. So
yes,
we take my truck everywhere.
Yeah,
as far as it goes. And so tell me, I'll ask you one more question here. Tell me, how did you come up with your name, your logo for the name for your podcast and who you are and what you do? I know what the 316 stands for. So I'm curious to know how you came up with Spooky Bro 316.
So originally there were two of us. I used to have this podcast, and one of the guys on the podcast, he's this black guy. He's super cool. His name's Dr. Richard Sharp. And I say that he's a black guy because he's like, dude, that ghost shit, that's white people shit. I don't do that stuff. So he really got into film a few years ago. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I have this really crazy story that a woman that I was the health coach at her organization. And she told me this super creepy story. I think it was either the first or second story I ever told as Spooky Bro. It was the story of I called it like the meow jigsaw or the cat puzzle or something like that, where she found her cat sliced to pieces and there was no blood. There was no sign of any struggle. And the cat had been put back together in its bed, no blood, no anything. And I told my friend, I was like, dude, we should do this fun thing where we go around and we film people telling their ghost stories. And I kind of Jack Black it, like I'm kind of there and my eyes get crazy, like, oh God, what is that? And maybe we could do something like that. So it was originally supposed to be Bros. And I was like, I wonder what we could be called. And he said, man, like Scary Bros. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I said, man, maybe Spooky Bros, because that's what it was. We should be Spooky Bros. Well, there are several other things. There are several other Spooky Bros out there. Now, I'm an entrepreneur. I own a couple businesses. Trademarks are a bitch. And I knew that Spooky Bro was not going to be anything that I considered local. So if you go to a national level, you can get into a lot of issues with trademarks and whatnot. For example, Spooky Boo. I had to have something that could differentiate me from that. So I threw the 316 on there, which is the area code for Wichita. A lot of people think it's the Bible verse 316, John 316, or if you're a professional wrestler fan, Austin 316.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's I wish it was cooler than that, man. But it's just the area code for Wichita, and it's kind of a way of remembering at the time, always kind of plug in where I'm from. as this continues to grow. And then I have an artist friend, and I told him, because so in my actual profession is my master's is in gerontology. So I'm a gerontologist and a medical exercise specialist. So I'm kind of a fitness guy, and I like to lift weights and whatnot. So I told him, I was like, man, can you make this ghost look like me, and maybe he can have some muscles or
Yeah.
something? I said, but I don't want him to be too muscular because I'm also a little pudgy. I was like, I want it to look kind of cute like a ghost. And that's what he came up with. And I wear my backwards ball cap, and he pretty much came up with it. So it all just kind of fell together, man. It just came. It was easy. Tim, nothing in life is easy, and this was really easy for me. So I got pumped up.
Okay, well, cool. Kind of like ours. It fell in line. The paranormal girl, ... and Tim fell in line.
And Tim, baby.
Came together. So
yeah,
cool.
So
Well,
Myra,
I went for the Bible verse because that's what I thought you were going for. So
man, okay. I wish it was that, because that's what, like I said, man, the invites that I get, or the appearances and whatnot, are not from people from my area. So I should probably start coming up with a backstory, like, oh yeah, it's 316, and I need to look at the Bible verse and come up with something really cool to really reel people in. No, man, it's just my area code.
Gotcha.
Either that or go Spooky Bro from the 316.
From the 316.
From the 316.
Ah, see,
Myra says hi. Myra's with the Haunted Aurora Brothel.
Oh, I hear a lot about the Aurora Brothel. That in the Kansas area where I am, that is one of the places. There's like you said, Tim. There's the McIntyre Villa. There's the Sally House. There is there's the motel that is supposed to be. It's got the Grinner. And of course,
we've been there.
What's that?
Garnett.
We've been there.
Garnett, yeah, that place. And then the Aurora Brothel. Those are some of the ones that I continue to hear a lot about. So I would love one. Now that's in Arkansas, is that right?
That's Missouri.
No.
Missouri. Okay.
Missouri.
Okay. I'm going to be in Springfield. How close is it to Springfield, Missouri?
Probably like an hour southwest. It's in between Joplin and Springfield.
Okay.
Correct.
I might have to stop by and meet Miss Myra and do a little plug on the Aurora Brothel, because I'm going with a whole bunch of groups in May to look at the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Yep.
Have you guys heard of that one? I think it's in Jefferson City, Missouri.
Yep.
So I'm going to be close there, and I would love to stop in and see her, and maybe get a tour of the place. I like that. I like getting the tours and hearing the history, and immediately when they start talking about the history, my brain starts going, cool, this could be funny, this could be, shocking or whatnot, and I start thinking of angles to tell their story.
Cool. Missouri State was the first place every ghost hunted. So
was it pretty legit?
It's legit. It completely.
Oh yeah.
Legit. Yep.
Yeah. McKenna with MS Paranormal has been or MT Paranormal. She has she's the one who kind of organized everything, and I'm going to get to go with my friends Offbeat Paranormal. And then there's a whole bunch of other groups that I have not met yet. I'm looking forward to it. And I think the cool thing is my son's actually going to be able to tour that place once the investigating starts. I'm sure they don't want kids running around. There's an age limit, but he'll be able to at least kind of see the place. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
We actually go back to Aurora Brothel on the 11th.
Yep.
Cool. Nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
Our second trip back. Misty says it's very worth the drive. That is so true.
It is.
We had so much stuff happen. It was crazy, but yeah. So I don't remember what the town is, but there's like a town that you get off to go to Aurora, and there's like a huge big pyramid that sits at a gas station right there at that corner.
Nice.
And all four sides tell you like how far it is to like Texas, how far it is to California.
Yep.
It's like a four-sided pyramid. It's actually really cool.
Very cool.
Wow. That's insane.
Myra's having some issues. She said she can't comment and she can't hear. I don't know, Myra. I don't know. Go out,
Sorry.
come back in.
Bummer, Myra.
Yeah.
If you go to Aurora Brothel, go to the basement.
Oh man, that's a challenge that I don't know if I want.
It's an obelisk.
Tim, if I ever have your balls, bro, I'm gonna be living large, man.
Well, get in the truck. You want to go ghost hunting? Get in the truck. Just come on, let's go.
I actually did an Estes method in the basement.
Really?
Yeah.
The Estes method is interesting. I didn't even know what that was until Heather with Offbeat or Drop Dead showed me. And man, she put those phones on and she was talking so loud it freaked me out. I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" Yeah. But dude, that's insane, man. So when you do that, what do you hear in those earphones?
So most of the time it's static. Once in a while, you might get like a radio blip, like from a station really quick.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, like you hear words come through.
Wow.
And so it's not anything. Like Saturday night, we were just at a location and Kathy, one of our other team members, was doing it. And we heard, she said, Tim, she said, hi, Kathy, and Brenda.
Yep.
So whatever was talking to her named off 3 of the 5.
That's creepy.
Of us. Yeah. So it's a pretty cool thing. Sometimes to get used to it, it's a little daunting and it's a lot because of,
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes you'll be listening and it'll be really loud and then it'll stop and you won't hear anything and then you'll hear something again. And it takes a little bit to get used to it. She found out what her problem was. Her Bluetooth kicked in and she says, hi, Misty. But yeah, we can't wait to go back to Aurora. It's going to be a blast.
I have a question for Tim.
Nate, if you want to take something that's fun and easy, get a dead bell.
The dead bell, is that the dinger?
Get a dead, literally get a dead bell and take it with you. The last location we was at, we could hold him in our hand and get the bell to ring in our hand. Literally,
that's creepy.
I mean, sit in your hand, yeah. So
I ended up putting it on my leg and it was dinging like crazy.
Yeah. Wow. So just take that with you and walk around it and see what happens. Because
Tim, I gotta know, man. You are the 14-year veteran, bro.
Right.
14 years, right?
Yes.
What is the creepiest place that you've ever been to? Where have you felt true dread?
Well, that's easy to say. So in Forsyth, Missouri, right north of Branson, about 12 miles, a little small town. There's a place there called the Honeymoon Hotel. It's now privately owned. It was abandoned. We were there, been empty since 1994. That place, in reality, I think owns a piece of my soul because there's so much happened in that place. The 4 times I was there, it was just incredible. I mean, we're talking shadows, we're talking apparitions, we're talking being growled at out of thin air, we're talking people running beside you, white mist flying through the air.
The growls, baby, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you go past a dark room and it's pitch black. You can't see, and there's street lights on outside, but you can't see through the window, and a growl just comes out of thin air right out the room at you in the hallway. I heard people footsteps run beside me. I felt the floor bang as they were running beside me. White mist flying over here. Security lights on in the room, and the room would just go pitch black, and the light was on. Shadows everywhere. Growled at I don't know how many times. Saw an apparition of a dog appear in front of me. Saw another one manifest in front of me. So yeah. So it is probably the most haunted place I've ever been in my life. As far as all of them. And that's where I got over my fear of what I was going to look for, because I was like you, I was skeptical. I was a skeptic to start out with. Is this stuff really real? Is it going on? And I was with another paranormal group, and they decided their paranormal life was to go out in residential area and help people with activity in their home and get rid of it. So I worked with a demonologist and I learned how to do that, clear homes and cleanse and stuff. So in my 14 years experience, that's probably the one place I have apprehension about going back. I decided I will go back if I can get back in it because I'm much smarter now. I much know more what I'm doing, so forth. But I'd been investigating for like 3 years when I went in there, way over my head, way over my head. Didn't have a dead bill, but I was way over my head. Anyway,
Drop Dead is saying, "Hey, spooky bro."
Oh,
yeah.
Heather, my wifey. I love
And
her. She's
then,
great.
yes, Myra, the ghosties with the mosties, her ghosties with the mosties, love the dead bell, and that's what this is. It's the dead bell.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we were in Topeka with Drop Dead, Heather and Carissa and their friend John, they had the dead bell going, just
Yep.
legit. And of
Yep.
course, I'm like, what in the balls is that happening? But yeah, dude, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
real deal.
It is.
Yeah. Well,
It works.
Saturday night, he was holding his, I was holding mine, and it was like ding, 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 back and forth, ding,
Both
ding,
of
ding,
them.
ding, 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 ding.
Oh, the battle bells. I
Yeah,
like it.
it was
Yeah,
crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, but yeah, the dead bell. It works
that
well.
works. Yeah.
So
How about you, Miss Brenda? What's the spooky place you've been to?
um to date, my spookiest encounter was at Garnett.
Yeah, and and I want to say, I know she's on. I hope she's still watching. I love Heather. I love you. I believe she said Garnett was her the place that has been the most crazy for her also. So that place, man, that must get some serious activity going on. I need to get that's not that far away from me. Phil with Offbeat is like, dude, I'll pick you up and take you there. So I've got to eventually I've got to get down there. I heard a rumor that it was cleansed. There was this
Yeah.
big thing where apparently this guy went in there and cleansed, and
Yeah.
that's insane, right?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I don't know. Did he take a picture of his ugly aunt and his grandma and a bottle of holy water and say, "Hey, I'm going to drive you out of the house"? I don't know. I think I take you 15 minutes of fame, but that's my opinion. So
Yeah, that's I mean that's I don't know. Those things drive me crazy. Like what that's why you would want to go in and do that.
there's people that's been in there since he's been in there, and they say that the energy has shifted,
Mhm.
um, and a lot of them don't stay in there as long as what they originally did because of the energy shift.
Mhm.
So have
Um,
Brenda tell you what happened to her, then I'll tell you what happened to me and another team members. So
so
At Garnett.
at
yeah,
Garnett,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. So Heather says, "Love you too, boo," and he's full of shit.
Well,
yes.
hopefully she's talking about the
Yeah, the
asshole
guy
who
that
cleansed
cleansed it.
the
Yeah,
place, not
Yeah,
this guy.
no, she's talking about the dude that supposedly cleansed. And then
yeah,
Myra said it was a side eye guy.
yeah,
Yeah, the side eye guy.
Yeah, the side eye
yeah.
guy. So the owner was there, and um he was in a hurry, so we didn't really get a full tour or anything, but we were in the grinner's room, and I looked at him and I said, "Who is the grinner?" That was all I said. I said it just like that. All of a sudden, it's him and me, and then Misty, no, Tanya and Kathy were all in the grinner's room. Tim standing outside the room. I go, "Who is the grinner?" The floor vibrates underneath all four of us like somebody stomped super hard or
What?
jumped or something.
Yep.
And I looked at the owner and I said, "What was that?" And he looked behind me and he goes, "The doll is at your feet." And I turned around and this Raggedy Ann doll
Yep.
was off of the fireplace mantle on
Whoa.
the floor behind me. And I was 2 feet like in front of this mantle,
Correct.
nowhere close. And I was just at that point, I was just like, "Nope, no, 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 no." Like I have to go gain my composure. I left the room. I'm like,
Correct.
"No, no, 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 no." Like
Yep.
I cannot do this right now. Cannot. And then I proceeded to get called out the rest of the night. So
Correct.
by
Yeah.
red hair, um,
Yes.
I got called out by my name.
Sure.
So I was targeted.
So
yeah.
what is the grinner?
Yeah. I saw the doll fly off the mantle and land behind her. I was standing in the other room looking in there. So I did
What?
see it. I did not, we didn't have any cameras going or nothing handheld. So yes, but I did see the doll fly off the mantle and land behind her. And I felt the vibration on the floor clearing the room I was in. So the whole house, the vibration you could feel through the whole house. After that, Tanya and I, another team member, we went upstairs to set up security cameras because that's we set them up to, to watch and see what goes on in the building. We got to the top of the stairs and we turned left. Well, this building was a house, so all the rooms are connected. Later, it was a hotel. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of history. Look up the history of the place. It goes clear
Absolutely.
back to the Jesse James and Bell Star and all kinds of famous people. We got up. We turned left. We went in the first room to the left. As soon as Tanya walked through the door, a thermometer flew off the wall, hit the counter, and landed beside her feet. I took pictures earlier in the day when it was in there, so I figured out where it was, and I took the thermometer and stuck it back up where it was originally on the wall, and it stayed there the rest of the night. It did not come back off the wall. Two items thrown at us in about an hour from being in this building.
And the Raggedy Ann
Talk
doll
about
was there. Yeah,
Talk about
Raggedy Ann,
poltergeist.
Raggedy Ann doll didn't move the rest of the night. I even had a REM pod by her, like the whole night, nothing else. So yeah.
You want to go to Garnett House? We're going back on June 7th, Nate. Get in the truck.
Yeah, man. I think it's literally only a couple hours from here, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bounce with you. And so who is this Grinner character? I keep hearing about this Grinner. Is it demonic? Is this a person who was there? What do you all think?
Nobody really knows much about it, where it came from. For me, it's something that I think it thrives on fear. So if it can figure out a way to scare you and keep you scared, then it has more energy to do more things.
Sure.
That's what I think. I know that's what Miss T also thinks as well because we've talked about it. But other than that, don't know where it came from. The owner, Justin, he will tell you that he does experiments in there. We didn't get into a discussion on what they were because that's his business. That's what he likes to do. But you don't know. Somebody else might know more because they go there a lot. We've only been there the once.
Sure.
But yeah, Drop Dead says Grinners, here I am. Absolutely. Absolutely. He was like, here I am. And like, how dare you ask about me?
That's creepy. Wow.
It is. And we had been to a couple other locations, like Malvern Manor, and I had an incident that happened there. And then, like we went to Beatty and there was another incident there. But it seems like every time we end up going to another location, like it just ramps up a little more. And so like a little bit more gets shown to me. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I honestly probably have only seen this much in the paranormal world, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know how much more of this I can take.
I get it.
I'm still going to go because that's who I am and I want to go. But, it's just like, okay, what's going to happen next? Like, is it going to be more than that? Like, like what is the craziness? But yeah, that had, that was definitely like a note moment for me. He's like, go back in and face your fear. And I'm like, no.
Not today.
No, I'm like, I have to gain my composure at the moment. I have to process what just happened. And then I went back in, then I went back into the room. But yeah, like, yeah. So some of the things that happen in some of the locations, I'm like, oh, that is so cool. We need more. Like we use apps sometimes, and sometimes we'll get responses of, like in the brothel, we got one that says, I'm bored of haunting you.
Yeah.
So then it started ringing the dead bell like nonstop, so much just
Yeah.
to be annoying.
Mhm.
We were in a church back in January. We got I'm not ghost or I'm not haunting, I'm just ghosting. So
Yeah.
like
Oh,
when
okay.
you get like some of those
Right.
interesting little things, it's kind of what like what oh Garnett, we got even ghost roll their eyes.
Yeah.
That was one of
Yeah.
the responses we got. Even ghosts roll their eyes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder what time that happened. Was it when the doll fell? Was it when the thermometer
Right.
was thrown? Was it when we were seeing the shadows running? Like, we don't
Right.
know. But so some of those they're
Right.
interesting. So
Legit.
yeah, legit. We have about 5 minutes before you need to get off of here. What other things um, is there about Spooky Bro that we don't know?
Woo! Boy, that's a fun question. So like I said, I have a master's in gerontology, so I study the science of aging. Um, I own a company in Wichita, Kansas called Wellness League, and we are a private fitness company for older adults. Um, I'm in Wichita. I'm kind of the authority in the realm of medical exercise for uh, people who have chronic conditions. Um, and I just finished my first book. It's a horror novel called The Waiting Dark,
Mm.
and
Cool.
I don't know when it's going to come out. Like this is this with this editing and publisher thing. This is a process that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
This specific company that signed me, they have three different editors. Um, it's called Beat Publishing, and it's out of Springfield, Missouri, and they're notorious for high quality, like high literary type of fiction. And so I used to be a college professor. I used to teach at Wichita State. Um, so there are several other literary people. So I have to go through 3 rounds of editing, and then finally the publisher will look it over and get it out. So I'm hoping it'll be out this year. It sure has been a lot of fun writing. But yeah, my thing is more probably UFOs and aliens, more so than and more so than ghosts. I'm super fascinated with demons. So when Tim talked about demonology, I have a subtle infatuation with religion, and I'm not particularly religious, but I'm fascinated with religion, and I'm fascinated with the concepts of good and evil. So obviously I'm drawn to angels and demons. So I love the idea of that. So Tim, when you said you used to uh communicate with a demonologist, I think that would be such a bitchin' job. And I don't know what I would do if I ever saw a demon or something that was truly evil. I don't know if I would run. I don't know if I would embrace it in the sense that, wow, this answers so many questions, as far as there's obviously a universal good and evil, and there's
Yeah.
obviously now something that awaits us on the other side. Um, but I'm very fascinated with that. And like I said, I love everybody in the paranormal. I want to hype up everybody. I get just as excited about you all going back to Garnett as I'm as excited about going to Gettysburg. So I'm just as pumped up for everybody. My friend Jocelyn calls me the hype man for the paranormal community. We joke around because with her accent, it keeps sounding like she's saying the hot man. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take it. But she's actually saying the hype man. So I'm just the paranormal hype man, and I root for everybody. Like Tim, like you said in the beginning, man, we're all here to uh, find answers to our questions
Correct.
about the unknown, about what happens, is there more to life, and we're all seeking the same thing. So I'm a huge camaraderie person and just pumping up everybody and doing whatever I can to help others have a really good experience within the paranormal. And my particular content, it's more fun. Tim, you had mentioned the Bigfoot thing. My good friend Jason, he also owns Bigfooting Kansas, and I talk shit to him all the time about, bro, there ain't no Bigfoot. And it's not that I don't believe in it. He is always saying he's going to take me to this place and show me a Bigfoot. And I know that he has had some very legitimate experiences, but I just like to have fun. I like to have fun with my content. It's
Sure.
silly. I've got something coming out about the famous space person photo where it's the little girl and the spaceman's behind it. Um, and I like people to engage with me. I've been called so many names, like I told you that post that went viral. I got called a psychopath. That I have mental illnesses, and I love it. I'm always like, yeah, you're probably right, man. I'm off my rock, but uh, I do. I love all of you. I love everybody, and I have never been welcomed so much into a community. Um, I understand, at least I hear a lot that there's drama and it's a cutthroat thing, but because I haven't experienced that personally, and but I have in other businesses, like the fitness world in Wichita and also in advertising. I own a small advertising agency. Stuff is cutthroat like crazy, but I love this paranormal community. We're all kind of a little wacky, and I think it's really unique and fun. And I've never felt more welcomed in a community. And
Cool.
like I had posted something about, hey, this year I want to do 50 to 100 podcasts, and people just started contacting me like, hey man, like they don't even know me. They're just like, hey, we'd love to have you on and talk about your experiences. So I just think that's really cool. And Tim, uh the fact that you even looked into my stuff, that's awesome, man. I
Sure.
really appreciate that you
Sure.
did that. But and I'm so honored that you guys thought to have me on to talk about my experiences, because I look up to individuals like yourselves. You all are the researchers. You're on the front lines. I'm just the clown that gets to tell your stories and take all the cool credit for making them seem cooler than anything else. But you guys are the heroes, and I appreciate you letting me come on and kind of tell you about some of my experiences. Tim, the other place that I have been where I felt true dread, and I've really tried to uh, go back and think if maybe I just hyped myself up too much for this. But before the church in Stoll, Kansas, which is apparently one of the 7 gateways to hell, before the church was it was actually struck by lightning and burned down, and then the city just finished the rest of it. Before that happened, when my brother was going to KU, I was 18 at the time, so 2002. He drove me past that because it's just south of Lawrence, and the feeling in that town was
Sure.
awful, just
Mhm.
awful. But my wife and I drove through there a couple years ago on our way back from Pennsylvania, and I didn't feel that energy then. So maybe I just hyped myself up, but the church isn't there anymore. The foundation is still there. But man, when I saw that church, it just sent me to it just felt awful. It felt
Okay.
awful. And I don't know if you all ever got the opportunity to see that. There's the famous story that the Pope was going to Colorado to deliver to deliver whatever, I don't know, whatever he was doing there, but he actually went around Kansas because he didn't want to fly over that. At least that's the legend behind
Oh,
when the
gotcha.
United States, Pope John Paul II. And
Gotcha.
man, I don't know if I've hyped that place up too much. Jason, my friend with Road Trip, he thinks I've probably hyped it up in my head too much.
Gotcha.
But that place freaked me out. And then that cemetery in Atchison. Otherwise, for the most part, I've been to places where there have been a lot of activity. Like even a few weeks ago in Topeka, we had a lot of activity. I think Heather would be a better, to analyze that and say what it was or what it wasn't. Heather, being an investigator, would be a much better source of that than I would. But I didn't feel scared or anything there. There's only ever been a couple places, and I'm fascinated by those places. I want to know if Amityville. I want to know if that home in Amityville is scary.
Mm.
Um, and
Right.
this is another thing. So my current studio is just less than a quarter mile away of where BTK. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
Mhm.
BTK, the serial killer from
Mhm.
Kansas, where he
Mhm.
committed his first murder, the Otero murder. It was where he killed the whole family, strung up the children in the basement. Super famous in this part of the country. The house is still there. It's a Hispanic family that lives there now. I see them all the time because I drive past that house. I want to stop and ask them if they would let me come in and just get a vibe of what the basement is. But in this day and age, I don't know if you're allowed to even do that anymore. You might get your ass shot if you do something like that. So, but I would love to one of these days check that out. I'm all about the vibes, Tim. I think that maybe I'm intuitive to a certain extent of what there is.
Sure.
So some places that you talked about, I'd love to go and just see if there is a creepy vibe. The place where I had this thing, whatever I brought home that attached to me, that place in Wichita was very creepy. Next time I'm on, I'll have to tell you about that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. Myra
I
says,
will.
come to the brothel. We'll get along just fine.
Myra, I can't wait. I'd love to meet you, honey. I'll be there.
Misty is originally from Bonner Springs. She said she remembers that case.
Yeah. Yep. Misty, I'm sorry you weren't on tonight, honey, but thank you for keeping up in the comments, and I can't wait to meet you one of these days.
Let us know when your book comes out.
Yes.
And,
yes, it's going to be fun. It's fun, man. I'm excited about it. Grad school ruined writing for me because it was long papers, research papers. That's not my thing. So getting back into writing fiction has been this huge joy of mine.
Yeah. Cool.
Myra says, Pinky promise.
Pinkies, baby. I'll be there. I'm gonna make Tim get me in that truck.
That's easy. I just opened the door.
Yeah. Yeah. There's room. All right. So guys, if you guys are not following Spooky Bro 316, make sure you go do that. He does post a lot of content out there, and he keeps it lighthearted. If they have a story to share, can they get a hold of you as well?
Oh, absolutely. So you can message me directly from my Facebook, or I am on TikTok and YouTube. Message me directly, or you can email me at spookybro316@gmail.com and just tell me, like, hey, Nate, I'd love to call you. And I got a story that I want to tell you. And yeah, man, if I think it's really legit and freaky, I'll turn it around and put it on the show. Absolutely. I mean, I'm always looking for fun stories and content. I would love to do that.
So it has been a pleasure having you on the show. We will have you back again. Tim, is there anything you wanted to?
I wanted to comment on demonology. When you see your first demon, you will never forget, because I've seen several. So
oh my God, what?
Yeah, you'll never forget it. So
what do they look human? Do they not look human? What do you think?
So imagine like the shows on TV, they show a dark figure standing there, like a hooded figure, not quite like Balak on the movie, but a dark figure standing there. And if they really want you to know, they'll show you their eyes. Their eyes will appear, literally.
Wow.
And they look like a shrouded monk or they look like a black mist figure. I've seen one. I've seen a dog. I've seen one stand in the yard. There's a farm outside of Mount Vernon, Missouri. I won't tell you how to get there because you don't need to go there. I saw one stand in the yard there. I thought it was a dead tree stump when I first saw it. It was not. So, yes, you will not forget. And I'll tell you right now, be prepared. Don't let you had something follow you home. Be prepared if you ever get into that situation, because you don't want it going home with you. That's for damn sure. So, yeah, I got a couple of pictures. Maybe I'll share sometime. The Forsyth, Missouri. I really don't talk a lot about it. I talk some about it because what happened there was just an incredible experience, as far as that goes, for me and other people. But I appreciate you being on.
Yeah, man, I would love some of those, Tim.
And I'll tell you what, you want to go ghost hunting, get in the truck, and I'd be more than happy to go with you. So.
Yeah, he kind of froze, but there he's back.
Let's do it.
That's how I was blinking
Do
out.
it.
You've been kind of
Gotta hop
freezing
off
on
here,
now.
folks. You guys have a wonderful evening.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a nice. Ugh. Guys, thanks so much for joining. We will be back Saturday with Matthew.